denying the addictive exhaust note coming from this powerful V12 Aston Martin engine. And there's no denying the sleek, sexy bodywork that wraps around that engine. Aston Martin keeps evolving these cars, but they do it in a less dramatic, more kind of evolutionary rather than revolutionary way. And it works because the bodies are always stunning. Everyone knows that. These are iconic shapes. But the engines and the interiors, everything just keeps getting better and better every year. For instance, that engine, it now makes 510 horsepower and 457 pound-feet of torque. That's almost as much as their top-end Aston Martin Vanquish. But the DB9, the 2013 DB9 you're looking at here, this is made of aluminum, so it weighs a little bit more than the all-carbon fiber Aston Martin Vanquish. That's okay, it still does 0 to 60 in just over 4 seconds, and it'll hit 183 miles per hour. The engine's benefiting from all new larger throttle bodies, it's got dual variable valve timing, and it now has a new intake manifold. The engine's really been revised to make basically as much horsepower as the previous DBS that's been discontinued. Now inside, same thing. The interior is all revised, and it looks as beautiful as you would ever want it to be in a car that costs this much money. I think one of the most enjoyable things is just listening to the V12 engine. You've got the paddle shifters here, and again, just driving it normally, it'll shift for you and it'll do a good job of it. It's quick, it's responsive, or you can start playing with the throttle and the shift points yourself and really make it go. Of course, it's got great brakes. These are carbon ceramic brakes, standard equipment. So as much speed as this engine will get this car going in a matter of feet, the brakes will pull it right back down again when you're wanting to get slowed down for a big turn coming up. Little blip of the throttle, little throttle goose, and you're going. Very capable, very confident. It may not be the Vanquish, but it still feels pretty spry, surprisingly, for an almost 2-ton vehicle. It's nothing like driving an Aston Martin where the interior feels like almost a European palace. The plushness of the leather, the contrasting stitching, just the overall quality that seeps through this interior. And this is an improvement. They weren't like this even a few years ago. They've really upgraded the 2013 DB9, really upgraded it. It feels essentially as good as their top dog Vanquish. Amazingly, so does all the performance of this car. I mean, it's really right there. It weighs about 200 pounds more because it's not made of carbon fiber, the body, like the Vanquish is, but otherwise, it's just as capable. That engine really moves the vehicle quickly and easily. And the suspension, I mean, you can go from full fat cap mode, where you've got the transmission in automatic, the exhaust is relatively quiet, and it's doing everything for you, to full kind of performance track mode in a matter of seconds. There's buttons down here on the center stack, and you hit the sport button, you get more noise from the exhaust, better throttle response, and quicker shifts. Shift program is more aggressive. And then you hit the shock absorber button here, and you can go through normal to sport to track mode for the adaptive damping suspension. And it makes a difference. You notice it immediately when you're driving this car. So, you know, we're kind of in normal mode here, but I hit a few buttons here, I up it to track mode, and I start playing with the paddle shifters here on the steering column, and all of a sudden, you're having a lot of fun. It's very capable. Most people would not expect a near 2-ton vehicle to handle and behave this well. Of course, it's got carbon ceramic brakes, so when it's time to put the binders on and slow the vehicle down, no issue. Some of the best brakes I've ever experienced. Remember, this is all a bonus. This is all on top of the fact that when there's a crowd around and you aren't on a deserted road like we are here, everyone's looking at you because you're in this stunning Aston Martin, you know, silky shape. It's really a pretty amazing vehicle, and I think it's a sign that Aston Martin continues to do quite well in the marketplace. They're going to continue to be aggressive. They've got to compete with some really great vehicles out there, and they're doing it because they keep evolving this same look and this same feel. They just keep making it better and better. There's really very little to complain about in this car, but the one thing we would like to see evolve, like the rest of it has evolved, is the interior center stack controls. They're just not up to the level that they should be in a car of this price range. You still have the basic functions. You've got the hands-free phone, you've got the high-tech stereo, you've got a navigation system, but they aren't up to the standard that most vehicles in this price range at this point in time are at. We need to see Aston Martin evolve that. That's really the last thing left for them to do, and I think they know that, and I think they're looking into it. Now that's what I call V12 power in a capable, luxurious, and sensual vehicle. It freaks me out. I look back and I see that camera right there and it's like, whoa, what was that? It looks like something about to hit me.